We are about to enter a youth court where television cameras aren't usually allowed, that deals with crimes committed by 10 to 17-year-olds. We've handed over this courtroom to young people from southeast London. Using authentic court procedures, they act out the parts of lawyers and magistrates and put other teenagers in the dock. Just like an actual trial, we've honestly no idea how it will turn out.
Please stand.
The case they're about to stage today is typical of real and widespread instances of racism.
Please sit down.
Please stand, Peter. Are you Peter Maxwell?
Yes.
You are charged with 2 matters of racially aggravated criminal damage. Firstly, to a
Peter
window
faces 3 serious charges. The magistrates who must decide if he's innocent or guilty of each are Chris Webb, Florence Reeves and Kylie Simmons. Just like you, this will be the first time they hear the facts of the case, and their verdict will be entirely genuine.
How do you plead?
Not guilty.
First, the case for the prosecution.
Your Worships, this is a particularly unpleasant case of the racial harassment of a black family by their white next-door neighbour. On Tuesday the 6th of July, 1999, at around 8 p.m, Mrs. Michelle Ford was at home in her maisonette on the Meadow Estate in the London Borough of Greenwich with her teenage daughter Rachel and Rachel's school friend Amanda Clark. The 2 girls heard shouting from outside. Rachel looked out of the window and recognised the defendant, Peter Maxwell, who lives next door. They heard him say, "Black bitch, I'm going to jump on your head." And also, "Nigger, why don't you go back to where you came from?" He was swinging the baseball bat and ran towards the door. Immediately, they heard a crash of glass. The next morning, they discovered the word had been scrawled outside. The prosecution will seek to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Peter Maxwell deliberately broke the window, daubed racially offensive graffiti on the front door, and that he racially harassed Rachel and used threatening and abusive language against her. I will now call my first prosecution witness, Mrs. Michelle Ford.
Please repeat after me. I promise to tell the truth.
I promise to tell the truth.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Take us through the events which have changed your relationship with the Fords.
We used to have quite a good relationship, but as Peter got older, Peter started to become quite unruly and was in the habit of playing loud music and his keyboards. We complained about the music and Mrs. Maxwell became very aggressive and Peter was racially abusive towards my daughter.
What words did he use?
Black. There was never an occasion whereby we heard a bang at the door and we heard Peter's voice quite clearly, and again it was racist language.
Did you take any action against Peter
I contacted the housing office who said that they would investigate the matter. We also contacted the police.
And did you make any changes to your house?
I arranged to have a new, stronger front door fitted just to make us feel a bit more secure.
So what happened on July the 6th?
My daughter had a friend round for the evening. It was about 8 o'clock. I was in the lounge, they were in the bedroom. The girls came downstairs, they went to the kitchen to make a drink. While they were in the kitchen, I could hear a commotion going on, some shouting going on out the front. I met the girls in the hallway, and we saw the glass on the front door had been smashed.
Oh no, I've had enough of this. That's it. I'm gonna...
Not until the next morning did I discover that there was graffiti on the front door. I'm disgusted that in this day and age, you know, these kind of things can still happen.
I have no further questions. Please remain where you are. You may be asked some further questions.
Now Peter's lawyer will question the witness.
You and Peter have had a previous row concerning the noise in the Maxwell's flat.
That's correct.
You were aggressive towards Peter in his flat.
No, I wouldn't say I was aggressive towards him. He was aggressive towards us.
On July the 6th, why did you not contact the police as soon as the crash occurred?
We were in shock, we were frightened, and I'd contacted the police some 6 months before and I was not happy with their response.
Maybe they felt that the actions they had taken were proper in the situation.
Maybe.
It is right, isn't it, that you did not see Peter near your front door on July the 6th?
No, I didn't.
That you did not see Peter write anything on your front door?
I didn't.
You did not see Peter break the glass on your front door?
I didn't.
No further questions, thank you.
Youth courts usually expect people of under 16 to be accompanied by an adult, so Mrs. Ford will stay while the next witness, her daughter Rachel, gives evidence. She must be prepared to face tough and harrowing questions.
I will now call the second prosecution witness, Rachel Ford. Rachel, has Peter ever used racist language towards you?
Yes, several times.
He was calling me a black bitch. Anything else? He's called me as well. So what happened on July the 6th?
My friend Amanda Clark came round to my house. About 8 p.m. we came downstairs to have a drink in the kitchen. We could see outside Peter and we could hear his voice.
Bitch, I'm gonna jump on your head!
We saw him through the net curtain, but I don't think he could see us because the light wasn't on in the kitchen.
Who does he think he is? Does he do this all the time?
Yeah, recently. He was shouting and he was holding a baseball bat. We could hear the sound of a girl laughing. I recognised it and I could hear it was Laura Harrison, his girlfriend. He ran to the door swinging a baseball bat. We heard a loud crash.
Was there any other damage done to the door?
The next morning when Amanda and I were going out to school, I opened the front door and on the bottom of it, written in black, was the word.
So who do you think wrote this?
I think it was Peter. I don't believe anyone has the right to treat me like this.
When you were in the kitchen of July the 6th, how clearly could you see Peter through the curtains?
We could see him quite clearly.
Quite clearly, but I thought the purpose of net curtains is so that people on the outside can't see in, and those inside have a distorted view of what is outside. Isn't that correct?
No, we could see him very well through the curtains.
Did you see Peter write the word on your front door?
No.
Did you see Peter break the glass in your front door?
Yes.
How is that?
Because he ran towards our front door, swinging a baseball bat.
But did you actually see him do the action of putting the baseball bat to the glass?
No, but when you put two and two
Did you
together...
or not?
No.
No further questions, thank you.
Rachel, how soon after you saw Peter run towards your front door did you hear the sound of breaking glass?
It was immediate as we saw him run towards the door.
So like split seconds?
Yes, it was very
So
immediate.
there's no chance anybody else could have smashed that window?
No, because we only saw Laura and Peter outside in the balcony.
That was an ordeal, but necessary if Peter is to have a fair hearing.
You said in your statement that you and Rachel went into the kitchen to get something to drink. What happened next?
I heard a boy's voice, and so we looked through the net curtains, and I heard him say, "Black bitch, I want to jump on your head." And then I next heard him say, "Why don't you go back to where you came from?"
Is this boy in court today?
Yes.
Well, can you point to this boy? So you're saying the boy you saw outside Rachel Ford's house is the defendant, Peter Maxwell? Okay
Yes.
then. So what happened next?
Well, after that, I saw a girl laughing. I saw Peter walk from the front door towards the girl. He was also laughing. And then next, I saw him with a baseball bat in his hand running towards the front door, and I heard a smash.
So are you sure that Peter was the one who smashed the glass?
Yes.
Absolutely sure.
Yes.
Had you seen Peter before July the 6th?
No.
So you cannot be sure it was actually Peter?
I can be sure because I did see him through the net curtains.
Through the net curtain?
Through the net curtains.
Did you see Peter write the word nigger on the front door?
No.
Did you see Peter break the glass?
I didn't see him do it, but I saw him walk towards the door with swinging the baseball bat, and then I heard, but I cannot say I saw him do it.
Peter do the action at all?
No.
No way?
No.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
The prosecution's last witness is a serving police officer.
Please tell the court your name.
I'm PC 731 Helicopters attached to Blackheath Police Station, Your Worships.
On arrival at the Fords Masonette, what did you see?
Hello.
Hello, Mrs. Ford?
Yes.
Hello there. What's been happening here?
It's that boy from next door. He came last night and he smashed the glass out of the door.
The word had been scrawled with what appeared to be a black marker pen on the outside of the door.
What are you guys going to do about this?
I'll go and speak to him right now, Mrs. Ford. Don't worry, I'll sort it out. I went next door to number 48 to speak to the neighbour's son.
Them next door, they're just filthy troublemakers.
I'm arresting you for a racially aggravated criminal damage on your neighbour next door. PC Burbridge and myself then searched his bedroom and I found against the wall a baseball bat, which I exhibit as LC1, and on the floor I found a black felt tip marker pen, exhibit LC2.
What, a pen and a baseball bat? Every kid's got one of them.
Did you attempt to find out if anyone had heard the shouting?
I spoke to Michelle Ford and her daughter Rachel.
Anyone else in the surrounding areas?
I didn't personally, but the other officer may have done.
When you went into Peter's bedroom, were the baseball bat and pen hidden?
No, they weren't, Your Worships.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
That is the case for the prosecution.
Whichever way you look at it, this is an unpleasant case. But has the prosecution proved Peter is guilty? His lawyer will now present the other side of the story in his defense. She doesn't have to prove he's innocent, just show that there's reasonable doubt. If she's successful, the magistrates must let Peter go.
I would like to call the first defence witness, Peter Maxwell.
Please repeat after me. I promise to tell the truth.
I promise to tell the truth.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
What was the first row about concerning the Fords?
Rachel and her mum come round, starting shouting at me and my mum about the music being too loud and that. So we told them where to get lost, and Rachel accused me of calling her a black bitch.
Were the Fords aggressive towards you?
Quite aggressive.
Did they make you feel uncomfortable?
Yes.
After being at the park with Laura on July the 6th, where did you go?
We started to go back to my house. We walked past the Ford house and saw the window was smashed. Oh, what's that over there? Look, next door window smashed.
Yeah. Anything else on the front door at all?
Nope, just the window was smashed.
Did you shout racist languages at the masonette?
No.
Did you write the word nigger on the front door?
No.
Did you break the glass in the front door?
No.
Seems definite, but is it the truth?
Are you racist, Peter?
Well, it depends what you call racist.
It's a simple question. Are you racist? Do you judge people by the colour of their skin?
Me personally, no.
Have you ever called Rachel a black bitch?
No.
But Peter, she says that you did call her a black bitch. Are you calling Rachel a liar?
Well, it's long ago and don't really remember what exactly was said in the argument, but...
Are you calling Rachel a liar?
Probably, yeah.
What's your door number?
48.
What's the Ford's door number?
49.
I'm a bit confused about this, Peter. Because let's take this step by step. To get to your house, your masonette, you'd have to walk up a flight of stairs,
Yeah.
turn right, and there's your house, number 48.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were you doing outside the Ford's front door?
I was just walking past because of...
Why were you walking past? The balcony doesn't lead anywhere. It leads to a dead end. So why were you walking past?
Just because nothing to do. I didn't exactly want to go in straight away. I just...
You're lying, Peter.
I'm not.
You're lying.
I'm not.
Do you know what I think, Peter? I think that you broke the Ford's front door window.
No.
You didn't?
No.
I think you wrote that graffiti on their front door.
I think I didn't.
I have no further questions.
Thank you, Peter. Will you please go back to your seat?
I wonder what the magistrates made of that performance.
I would now like to call the second defence witness, Laura Harrison. What is your relationship with Peter?
I'm his girlfriend.
So what happened on July the 6th?
Well, we were at our local park and we were just playing baseball and messing around and stuff.
BAM! What a strike. That's going far. Yes.
And then on the way to his front door, I noticed that the glass in the Ford's front door had been smashed.
Hey, what's that? Look over there. Next door window smashed.
Did Peter shout racial abuse at the flat?
No, he didn't.
Did Peter write the word nigger on the front door?
No, no.
Did Peter break the glass in the front door?
No, he didn't, no.
Thank you.
Laura, you were seen by two witnesses standing outside the Ford's masonette, laughing. And then Peter apparently ran up to the door and smashed it.
I didn't see Peter smash the glass, and if they'd have seen me there laughing, then it was probably because Peter had told me a joke or something.
So you're saying that you never saw Peter smash the front door?
Yeah.
So then they're lying? They are lying, yes or no?
I don't know.
They're either lying or they're not.
They may be mistaken.
They're lying.
Hold on. Miss Harrison, can you give us a yes or no answer?
Okay then, yeah.
They are lying. Both of them. One of them has no reason to lie because she does not know you and she's never seen you before that day, so that she's lying. Yes, okay then, I have no further questions.
Now the last chance for Peter's lawyer, her closing speech.
Your Worships, my client, Peter Maxwell, totally denies he is guilty of any of these charges. He has not denied he was outside the Fords' home. He has not denied he was swinging his baseball bat, but says this was completely innocent. But he is sure that the window in the Fords' front door was already broken when he arrived there. So is his girlfriend Laura. In fact, not one of the prosecution witnesses actually saw Peter break the window. In fact, no one saw him scrawl on the door. The fact that he had a black marker pen at home is certainly not enough to convict him. Finally, there is the verbal abuse. Peter has said that for some time Rachel deliberately set out to make trouble for him. As he sees it, this is a row between neighbours about noise that has got out of hand. You have heard two completely different versions of facts, and there is not enough proof to convict Peter without reasonable doubt, which means you should find him not guilty of all these charges.
Thank you. We are now ready to retire to consider our decision.
Please stand.
You can never be sure which way the magistrates will go. In reality, they're not lawyers, but volunteers from all walks of life, trying to reach the right decision. So what will it be? What would you decide?
What we now need to discuss is to establish the three charges and what we think, you know, of Peter Maxwell's involvement in all three. Should we start with breaking of the window?
Yeah, I think it's more guilty than not guilty there.
Yeah.
Because especially when the flat, they said he was swinging the baseball bat and a second later the glass was broken and they heard the smash.
Seeing him run to the door and then hearing the smash.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no other
and plus,
explanation.
they heard voices before and they're quite acquainted with Peter, so they do know.
And neck hands aren't that thick.
Yeah.
I think Laura Harrison, his girlfriend, was definitely lying.
Yeah.
Just protecting him.
Yeah.
Yeah, she seemed very intimidated and Peter was watching her intently.
Let's talk about the writing on the door.
Yeah. The only evidence we have on that is the pen, really, that was found in his room.
Yeah.
But saying that, he's the only one who could have done it. He was the only one outside on the balcony.
Well, not necessarily, because they didn't notice it the night that all the other stuff happened. So it could have been overnight that it happened, or the early next morning.
I think we've got enough evidence. I mean, the policeman saw it. I can't see.
He didn't see him write it, though.
He didn't see him write it, I know, but the pen was there in his room.
I do think he done it, but there just isn't enough. There's just an element of doubt.
The third charge is the abusive and threatening language that Peter used towards Rachel. His prosecution challenged him and said, "Are you racist?" And he said, "Well, I'm not sure, you know." He couldn't give a solid answer for that. He did look a bit sort of like, you know, defensive as well. And
the mother didn't actually say what she heard. She said she just heard shouting. She didn't say whether it was racist or not.
But then
Rachel and
she was in the lounge watching telly, wasn't she?
But did she say exactly what she heard?
Yeah, and Amanda heard the same as Rachel, so we all agreed on that.
Yeah.
Okay. Peter, could you stand, please?
The moment of truth.
We have considered our verdict and find you guilty of racially aggravated criminal damage for breaking the window of the front door. Not guilty of racially aggravated criminal damage by daubing the front door. Guilty of using racially aggravated, threatening, abusive, or insulting words or behaviour.
So how do you punish someone convicted of racial abuse? To help them decide, the magistrates will now, and only now, hear about Peter's past.
In January this year, Peter was given a caution by the police for a similar racially aggravated public order offence, also involving the Fords. The suffering and feelings of Mrs. Ford and her daughter Rachel should be considered. One possibility is to detain Peter in the Young Offenders Institution. Maybe this will be the kind of shock that he needs.
This is Peter's first appearance in court, so I hope you will be not too harsh when deciding your sentence. He has had no contact with his father for some years. His mother is struggling to make ends meet, so life at home is not easy for him.
Peter, Would you like to say anything before we decide what to do with you?
I feel very angry that you found me guilty of these charges.
Steady on.
And this is why I'm not apologising. I feel that it'd be no good to send me to a young offenders institution because I need my mum and my mum needs me.
Thank you, Peter. We will now retire and consider a sentence. I think really we need to tackle the problem of racism, and I think the way I would do it regarding Peter Maxwell is to make sure he knew that he was being racist, make him aware of his behaviour. He's not living well in the community.
Yeah, I don't think it's very good either that he's not sorry.
That was a bit arrogant of me.
Yeah. It's very difficult to know how to change his views on something, because just sending him to prison won't change his views.
It's true.
I think you have to do something else as well.
I think counselling would be good, but he needs to understand what he has done is wrong.
By law, for each of the two charges, Peter could be fined £1,000, making 2,000 altogether, or maybe pay compensation up to 10,000 in total. Or he could be imprisoned in a young offenders institution. With both offences combined, this could be for as much as 12 months. Stiff penalties. But what's the right choice?
For the first charge of breaking the window, we're going to ask him to pay for a replacement.
I think maybe he should do something to help the Fords, not necessarily pay for window, because I am really worried about the cost, because it would be hard on his mother.
Maybe, put the whole emphasis on being, racially abusive, and the window, I mean, we can just tie that in with it.
His behaviour is actually quite serious, and it's not right. I'm not quite sure about the detention, though.
I think the detention would be quite good.
It might give him a shock and everything, but it wouldn't change his views necessarily.
I think he needs to talk to someone, get his feelings out.
He does need counselling, but he also needs quite big punishment.
Yeah.
We have listened to all the facts of this case and believe these are most serious offences. So this is what we have decided to do. For the charge of racially aggravated criminal damage to the window, we have decided you will be detained in a young offenders institution for 2 months. And for the charge of racially aggravated threatening, abusive and insulting words and behaviour, we have decided you will be detained again in a young offender institution for a period of 2 months. This will run at the same time, so you will serve 2 months altogether. This is very serious indeed, Peter. Mrs. Maxwell, I do hope this does help Peter change his ways. Peter, I'd better not see you here in this court again, because if you do, there will be even more serious punishment. Do you understand?
Yes.
I think it was fair.
My views about racism that it is completely intolerable and that it should be stamped out in our society.
I would hate to think that people would think that I'm like Peter, because I'm not a racist and he was, and I feel that justice was done today.
People like Peter are not evil. They're merely confused.
Gritty stuff there on See You in Court. We must just tell you that everybody playing that was an actor. They were real cases, but they were reenacted, and the people in there didn't hold those views.
That's right. We're joined by Lee Parks, who played Peter Maxwell in that. That's the first time you've seen the whole programme. What did you think?
It was weird seeing myself on telly, because I'd never seen myself fat, but it brought back memories of how exciting it was.
I was going to say, it must have been really difficult for you to sort of play a part like that.
Well, it was... The actual part I didn't really like doing, but it was exciting still to see how... how prisoners and that, wait their sentence and that in court and that. But, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, Lee, thank you very much for coming in to CBBC this morning. There is more See You in Court next week here. Time now for a history lesson, and we've got a double bill of rewind starting at the year 1974.